Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, coming again today, you're very, very welcome. I trust you enjoyed my last video on late 70s, 80s band The Fixx. And through their song, Secret Separation, we looked at the culture of relationships when communication starts becoming the norm. So I trust you found that one encouraging. Always communicate, always. We're going from there to 1999 in Los Angeles. So this girl's only young. She's the daughter of the iconic, immortal J.J. Abrams. Behind such shows as Lost and a few of the Star Wars movies as well. This guy is a director composing Hollywood royalty. This girl discovered music at a very young age, and she showed talent of songwriting at the age of 8. She graduated in 2019 and she went to study international relations. She thought, nah, that's not going to be me. She dropped out in her freshman year and pursued music. Now the guy we're talking about is Gracie Abrams. Now Gracie obviously got a very, very helpful father, but putting that aside, she has got a very, very, very good take on life. She's a very talented singer, and she has some pretty interesting lyrics as well. She got scooped up by Interscope Records in 2019. And then 2020, out came the EP Minor, and the song I Miss You, I'm Sorry. And a lot of Gracie's songs are all about relationships ending, but not just them ending, also her self-reflection, the complexity of breakups too, because part of us doesn't want to break up. Part of us, I miss you. I'm waking up in the middle of the night and I'm thinking about you, thinking about your smell, and thinking about the things that you did. I'm thinking about the fights we had as well, but I would have that all back if I could have you back in my life. This is the complexity of relationships from the end, because you had this person in your life, you build your life around them, and all of a sudden your life has changed. So I miss you, I caught it. Actually, I miss you, I'm sorry. It's almost saying, hey look, I miss you. I'm sorry I miss you, but I miss you. I really long for something in the past. So you've got the official clip of that one. In 2021, another EP, This Is What It Feels Like, it got released. And to accompany that album, she did a tour starting in Salt Lake City and ending up in Stockholm in Sweden. So Gracie was starting to get a bit of a following and worldwide notoriety. In fact, in 2023, the Grammys actually gave her a nomination for Best New Artist. And the album Good Riddance came out in 2023. And according to some of the lists going around, this was one of the albums of the year. And it didn't hurt that Gracie would support Taylor Swift on a leg of her American tour. We got an acoustic version of Difficult. Now, just look at the vulnerability of her singing here. Just her and her guitar. She's more than comfortable singing her heart out to an audience in an intimate setting like this. Gracie Abrams is quite compelling in many, many ways. It takes real courage for someone who's only 24 to do this. And for her to be able to do it in such a compelling, intimate and forthright way, a lot of vulnerability, a lot of riskiness, exposure of yourself, all that sort of thing is pretty compelling. This is what makes Gracie so amazing in many, many ways. So we've got an acoustic version of Difficult. In 2024, out came The Secret of Us, and she did support this album with a tour, and Secret of Us did pretty well. The song of that one, Risk. Now I've got an amazing live clip of her here with Taylor Swift. Now this song's all about love, heartbreak and personal growth. Risk. Interesting concept, this one. And that is, you start going out with someone and you might start to love them. You know, you can't imagine your life without them. You're starting to build your life around them, and you're almost forgetting the fact that the relationships normally don't end up that well. But we're so compelled to love, and we're so compelled for connection that we keep going and we keep going and we keep going anyway. At some point, a decision is made in your heart of hearts, and that is, am I going all in or not? Because if I go all in here, I'm going to have a massive, 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 almost irreparable heartache if it comes to an end. But at the same time, if things are going well, and certainly if you're building into your relationship all the things that there needs to be. Now, as I've said at the start, love is patient and kind. Get that in there at the start. The way it informs the way that we open our mouths, the way we talk to each other, the way that we think about each other, patience and kindness. Particularly when there might be some challenges, patience and kindness is even more required than normal. So if it is that we do need to talk to each other about stuff, we can in a way that's kind and patient. So if you're building into your relationship everything that you possibly can, you know, you're both giving the best you can, you're both considering the person, and you know the relationship becomes the bigger of the two of you, and you're really, really starting to see a future with this person. Well, you cross that line, don't you? And there's risk associated with crossing that line, but if a relationship is worth it, it's worth it, and there's no risk at all. Now we can't ever categorically say that about anything, can we? Because you know this is the way life is. But you know, calculated risk. Would you prefer to be with someone who loves you, adores you, and you can work through things with, or be with no one? Now, if you are in an abusive relationship, it could be emotional abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse. That's not what I'm talking about here. That is not a loving, committed relationship. In fact, that's not love at all. Even though the person may say they love you, there's no patience and kindness there. So that can be a bit of a yardstick for you about what love actually is. So if there is abuse, there's no love. The person may think there's love, but they're not acting like there is. And so if a relationship is going really, really well, like you think, well, this is really real, this one, this is pretty amazing, I can't get enough of it, or the person, and we're growing deeper and starting to embed ourselves into each other's soul, well, the risk becomes worth it, and you know, you move through that risk time. And then just because you move through it, it doesn't mean that things come to an end. And like you keep trying, you keep adoring them, you keep being patient and kind, that never runs out. And because of that, you can breathe a bit easier, your nervous systems can have a bit of a rest, and you can just ease into what can be a beautiful, beautiful thing. And you think the risk is worth it. Of course, going down the track, you know, keep those communication channels open at all times. And love is patient and kind, keep that in there as well. So I trust that will be an encouragement for you. If you are at that point right now and thinking, man, I'm about to go all in here, well, so be it. May you go all in there, because you know you don't want to hold back either. You need to go all in. So that may be an encouragement for you today. Well, Gracie Abrams certainly has made her mark on the world. She released a couple of EPs and a couple of albums. She's received a couple of Grammy nominations as well. So no, in the scheme of things, she's done pretty well and contributed to this legacy of this thing called music. So it's be able to give this girl a bit of a go today. So the links to those clips are in the description below. And I've also included my last clip from the Fixx. So if you want to recap on them, feel free. Well, if this is your first time, the Life Reflections Your Music, or you've come back for another one, great to see everybody here. Well, that's it for today. Next time we're going to go on to one of the Australian anthems, particularly female anthems of the 1970s, Helen Reddy and I Am Woman. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.